Hey y'all, it is January the 23rd, 2019. And y'all want to holler at y'all real quick, just to let you know, especially pertaining to this situation. But I gotta let y'all know that my life has gotten very busy. I know a lot of people out there live very busy lives. But I just wanted to put that out there. It's like, dude, I'm always rushing. I'm always going from this and that. And sometimes it's very overwhelming. But I want to let y'all know that, just to let y'all know that when it comes to your videos, when it comes to comments, when it comes to emails, I try to get to all of them. And I appreciate them so much. But sometimes it takes a while. So just to let y'all know, people who are keeping up with me, be patient because I will get to it. But I am rushing. Speaking of that, I want to share this with y'all. All right, I want to take some time out to share this with y'all for as long as we can. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a reason that I wanted to share this with y'all specifically if you haven't seen it. And the reason would be because it's quite disturbing. In fact, it's quite alarming. All right, you might want to be alarmed by it because it's kind of terrifying, to be honest. I had to let you know, but if you haven't seen it, we're gonna dive into it so you see what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna read some of it. I don't know if we're gonna read all of it, but we're gonna read as much as we can. The title is called "Man Uses Instagram to Threaten Relatives." Parkland shooting, FBI says. Now, all we have to do is read the headline, and most of us already know the keywords of that headline. Most of us do. And we can assume that they're lying. They probably are. So that's the impression I got from the headline. And you'll note, you got January 22nd. It's called Breaking News. That's what I do. FBI, man confesses to threatening Parkland shooting victims without remorse. Does that sound disturbing to you? Does that sound quite alarming? Well, it will. Here it is. A California man is accused of using Instagram to harass and intimidate. Notice, okay, first of all, before we get into, we're not going to get too far before you start to notice the wording. The wording is very specifically done and with a purpose. Okay, so a California man is accused. The word is accused of using Instagram to harass and intimidate some of the relatives and friends of the 17 people killed in the Valentine's Day shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. Now, that's not very specific. Maybe they'll specify. Maybe they won't. The FBI identified the Instagram user as Brian Fleury. All right, so there you go. Within 2 paragraphs, this person, his name is completely out there for the whole world to see it. And I don't have to show you, they copied and pasted this article over and over and over again, just like they do all of them. All right, so Brandon Fleury, thing is, a lot of people don't see my videos, so it's not like I'm putting him on blast. But a lot of people see these articles, and like I said, it's copied and pasted all over the place. So, Brandon Fleury's, or however you pronounce it, his freaking name is everywhere. Alright, so let's read a little bit more and see just how, because they've already accused him of stuff. Okay, Brandon Fleury, who is accused of cheering the deaths, accused of it. Alright, wait for the quotes. You gotta know that there's quotes coming. He's accused of cheering the deaths of their loved ones, asking them to cry, whatever that means, and threatening to kidnap someone. Like, you could already tell from the wording of whatever disgusting hack wrote this, Andrea Torres. You could tell Andrea Torres is a disgusting piece of garbage individual. She's talking about all these accusations. She don't have no proof or evidence on anything. She did put Brandon Fleury's name right on blast. All right, it's going to continue to do it. Fleury confessed in January 16 Okay, and you know all about confessions. Flowery confessed on January 16th, didn't show remorse, and admitted to targeting activists, quote, activists, as a, quote, troll to gain popularity. Adding that he was a fan of serial killer Ted Bundy. Like I said, you're not going to find quotes more than 1 or 2 words long. All right. The reason is because you're a retard and I'm a retard, and we just don't know any better. So they're gonna tell us whatever they want. All right. So, oh, he's a fan of Ted Bundy. Let's not elaborate. Let's not have evidence or nothing. According to the complaint filed in the Southern District of Florida, prosecutors say Flowery, Southern District of Florida, by the way. You notice that everything is taking place in Florida. So prosecutors say Flowery used at least 5 different Instagram accounts and usernames to attack his victims December 22nd and January 11th. Do they have all sort of proof on that? No, they don't. As far as identities on the computer go and stuff, that's really tough to narrow down. It's really hard to prove that. It's real hard. You might say impossible. According to Special Agent Cameron McDowell, all the accounts had the same IP address. Oh, okay, might as well throw them in prison. All right. So all the accounts had the same IP address according to Special Agent of the FBI that never lets us down. All right. It said it has the same IP address, which was assigned to the home of Santa Ana, California, where Flowery lives with his father, Patrick Flowery, and his brother. So they put Patrick on blast too. They're putting everybody on blast. All right. And before we go any further, I want to say this. If he was doing these things with sock accounts and stuff like that, I would very much like to see every word, and I would very much like to see him admit to every single word. There's Mr. Brandon. I'd like to see him admit to that because here's the thing. I don't think that it happened. All right? I don't have no reason to believe that it happened. But let's say it did happen. Let's say it really did. Was it against the law? I don't know. What law? I'm not sure. All right, maybe the new hate speech laws. Prosecutors are charging him with using an interactive computer service. Ooh, we're gonna see the charges right here. Interactive computer service and electronic communication system of interstate commerce to engage in a course of conduct that caused attempted. If you can even believe it, this is a whole sentence. That attempted to cause, or would be reasonably expected to cause substantial emotional distress, and transmitting interstate commerce a communication containing a threat to kidnap a person, right? The most vague stuff you'll ever want to know. There's no quotes, nothing. There's no evidence. Nobody wants evidence, right? But before we go on any further, let's say Brandon did do all these things, which he probably didn't, all right? Let's say he did do all these things. All right. If that is the case, Brandon didn't do nearly as much as this channel itself did. This channel that you're watching right now. Right. As offensive as Brandon might have been, chances are the videos that I posted on here and the videos that are going to be posted in the future, chances are they're well more offensive than anything Brandon ever did. Alright. Meanwhile, Brandon's being put on blast. Meanwhile, Brandon is being threatened with jail time. Meanwhile, Brandon, his name's all over the place, and his family's name's all over the place. And I mean, like I said, this is copied and pasted all over the internet within a day. Dude, forget it. Ruin his life. It doesn't even matter. We don't need no evidence. Things of that nature. I'm gonna try and take you to if I can figure it out. I'm going to try and take you to something that you need to see, if I can figure it out, which I might not. Alright, well, let's see. Full history. I'm trying to find this right here. Like I said, it's copied and pasted everywhere. The same thing, Brandon Flowery, he must have been this and that. He must have done this and that. He's a terrible person. Everybody throw him under the bus. He's some random person we don't know. Alright, but I do want to show you this before we get out of here. Brandon Flowery, 5 fast facts you need to know. You need to know them. You need to know. by by January 22nd, everybody was just itching to throw out articles about Brandon. So you see all this, all right, and they write their little opinions. Number one, the complaint accuses Flowery of harassing the family members and expressing fascination with serial killers like Ted Bundy. All right, you gonna see some sort of evidence? No, not really. You see a lot of mumbo jumbo. Let's see. What's number two? Post threatened to kidnap. We don't have time for all this, honestly, because you already know what it is, and you can go check out the webpage yourself if you'd like. There's a whole bunch of words. Flowery is accused of trolling the families in an attempt to gain popularity. Now, you think they can't accuse me of that and accuse you of that all over the place right now today? You think they can't? You think they can't make up some stuff on you right now today? Alright, 3. Brandon Flowery was injured in a drunk driving crash as a boy. See, here's the thing, like, they just throw out what I don't know if this is robots putting this up and that they have no sense. But Brandon Flowery, all you're doing is making him seem like a normal person. You're humanizing him. And you're actually making it seem like you're victimizing him. Because not only are you accusing him of all sort of things, now you're just going to put his whole life on blast. Right, whatever detail he might have wanted kept private, no, hell no. Y'all gonna share it with the world. That's what y'all gonna do, right? And we're gonna talk about that in a second. Flowery's mother died after surgery when he was young. I mean, this is unspeakable. What you're looking at is unbelievable. The complaint describes a series of vile comments in which they'll try to give you little things. I killed your loved ones, ha 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 ha. Cry for me, which doesn't make any sense. Your grief is my joy and stuff like that. He's like supposedly pretending to be Nicholas Cruz and taunting people, supposedly. Now, the most logical explanation, before we get out of here, is Ryan Flowery probably did try to troll people in Parkland. All right, he's probably from that area or close to it. He's trying to troll them because he's a young kid, right? And in fact, there's basically millions of trolls on the internet trying to do offensive things, right? He probably did some of these offensive things, right? He probably had accounts. He probably was doing trolling. What happened is, I don't know, the FBI, maybe. Somebody, they came in, they saw what he was doing, they multiplied that, they added on top of that, they created some sock accounts, they put his name to it or whatever. They said, oh, he's doing this too. Not only is he doing that, but he's doing this, all right? So they get him, they capture little Brandon. They say, hey, look, Brandon, we caught you doing these things. Aren't you a troll on the internet? And he said, yeah, I am a troll on the internet. And they said, aren't you harassing people in Parkland? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I was talking to them. He said, no, Brandon, you're harassing them. We got all the evidence on you, Brandon. You might as well admit to it because we got all the evidence. We have everything we need. Put you in jail. You need to admit to it so that we could take it easy on you. Brandon, he's a young kid. He didn't know any better. So he's like, okay, I don't want to go to jail for a long time. Take it easy on me. I'll just admit to this. I'll say I'm guilty because I did do it. And meanwhile, it's, oh, you're guilty, right? You did do it? Okay. Well, I guess you're admitting to everything. So that's how the story comes out, okay? They say Brandon admitted to everything. Meanwhile, Brandon doesn't even have the slightest clue of what he's admitting to. And meanwhile, Brandon's whole name gets put on blast. His whole family gets put on blast. His whole background gets put on blast. Everything. They try to totally ruin this child's life. Why? Just because. Might as well. You know what I'm saying? He's just collateral damage, ain't he? That's why they did it. And they didn't hesitate to do it. They'll do it to their own mothers. You know, if they were caught early enough in the morning, Jessica McBride herself would turn herself in. She would create an article about herself and how guilty she is. Because it doesn't matter whose name is in the article. All that matters is that they're ruining lives, and that's what they're doing. So, I think we've been here long enough, and I want to get up out of here. But that is that is the main point. The main point is these people will stop at nothing, right? They are people, and these people don't necessarily want to kill you, but the demons that possess them and cause them to do what they're doing, those demons do want to kill you. This is a war. Alright? I don't mean to say that to scare you, but they're not going to stop at nothing. Alright? I appreciate all y'all. It's January, 24th, 2019, and I'll holler at y'all a little bit later. Shit's getting terrifying, ain't it?